7:50 or so. You're on WTIC News Talk 1080. Right now, it's time to spend a little time with Alden Davis. Alden.
Here I am, Ray, live at Studio E as the sun comes up over the Farmington Valley.
Yeah, you're in our Avon studio.
Yes, I am. And
you got them all over.
Looking beautiful here today.
It really is gorgeous. I was up there the other day. I went to the car wash.
Oh, back in your old haunts.
I miss it. I really miss it. I truly do. But
well, I miss seeing you.
I went to Battiston's and washed a comforter, and that was half my afternoon. And boy, those things take a long time to dry. Good Lord. And so, but I hit the car wash too, Russell Speeders. That's pretty good.
Good for you. Doing the chores.
It's not a chore to go to the car wash. You just sit in the car.
Boy, but you better keep it straight, Ray.
No, that's exactly it. I have trouble with things like that. Oh, God. So you're going to do some burgers today?
Did them on Monday. I'm not going to do burgers today. Maybe a nice black bean burger. How would that sound?
We'll talk to Chris Carosa about that in just a bit. See how he feels about that. Huh?
Yeah, that'll be coming up.
Do you have some Morningstar Farm stuff to do, or what are you going to do there? They make the burgers, right? Fake burgers?
Yes. Yep.
All right.
They're very tasty.
Well, okay. So you guys know, Alden has been a motivational speaker, organizer, consultant, and before that, in his first life, he was, of course, an engineer. You were an engineer, right, at Pratt?
Mechanical. Yep.
Well, that's kind of important, isn't it?
Before that. Yeah, I worked out in the shop, processing. Yeah, it was great stuff.
But that's where you got some of the ideas that you now impart to your clients.
All of this is the result of all those years of effort in the factories.
So what are we talking?
Ray,
what are we talking about today?
Man, Ray, we are large and in charge.
Okay.
Star Power Coaching is here today. So glad you are with us this morning as we embark on another journey guided by our Star Power model that integrates attitude, appearance, abilities, associations, and accountability. 5 points designed to get us into action. Today we launch into a most important discussion, especially after listening to you this morning, with some actionable tips inspired by a meeting I was in this week. Our buddy Bob Newbold over at Bay Insurance invited me to present the Star Power we did on smiling. Remember that one?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Well, he invited me to come over to the Newington Chamber of Commerce to present it, and the podcast is available at myvaluetree.com. Okay. Hey, Ray, guess who joined in that meeting?
Who?
Our friend Steve Parker. So here we are on a webinar, and Steve pops up on the screen. It was great fun seeing him, kind of like old times. So the meeting opened with the attendees introducing themselves and their businesses. What impressed me was the hopefulness with which each person shared. They each talked about the measures they were taking to ensure healthy practices for their business and customers. Not a single person was cavalier about reopening. Each one was serious and thoughtful about what they are doing. It was a very positive time. And that's where I want to begin today, with hopefulness. Coach wants to deliver a message of hope in a way that we develop a can-do attitude so that we create the best possible life for ourselves and those around us. I am a big advocate of Cooper Ryder's work on appreciative inquiry. The normal process for solving social problems is to ask, what's going wrong, generate a big list, and then try fixing each grievance. Appreciative inquiry asks, what are we doing right, with the objective of doing more of what's right. This is strictly a headset change. Would you agree, Ray?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, hope is a headset. So is despair. Hope is a deep desire for a future outcome. Coach offers it is driven by will and conviction. In the world of psychology, you can find two camps. One that's led by Pavlov and Skinner, the other led by Jean Piaget. Pavlov is a behavioralist, and Piaget is a cognitivist. Pavlov says you are conditioned by the world around you.
Right.
Stimulus, response. Piaget would say you are guided by your own mind. Let me demonstrate Pavlovian behavior and the great power it gives me.
Okay.
With one name, I can anger half the audience. MSNBC. I can anger the other half of the audience, Fox News.
Yep. There you go.
Stimulus response. Try this stimulus.
Okay.
Trump.
Oh, either way.
Trump. Right? That is strictly Pavlovian.
Yeah.
Stimulus response. Visceral responses driven by a stimulus leave us open for manipulation.
Yeah.
Coach wants us to be driven by our own thoughts. I agree with Piaget, Earl Nightingale, Napoleon Hill, and Norman Vincent Peale. We become what we think about. We become what we think about. Without getting all mystical, let's consider the law of attraction. Like attracts like.
Right.
If I'm paying attention to the news, the economic sphere is a mess. The social sphere is a mess. The political sphere is a mess.
Yeah.
The health sphere is a mess. And I start getting enmeshed with the world as presented to me, losing autonomous development and thought, attracting mess into my life. However, at Al-Anon, we're taught, I didn't cause it, I can't control it, I can't cure it. I become empowered to untangle myself from the daily drama and focus my mind on what I can control, solving my own problems. I can face my day with hope, my deep desire for a future outcome. Lamont isn't accountable for my resume, I am. Murphy isn't accountable for opening my business. I am. Blumenthal isn't accountable for making my bed this morning. I am. I am accountable for guiding the journey of my life using the resources of my mind. My mind controls everything I do. Norman Vincent Peale, in his book, If You Can Think, You Can, shares this instructive story. In 1931, Ted and Dorothy Houston bought a little drugstore at the 300-person town of Wall, South Dakota, next to nowhere. By 1932, the Great Depression had dropped the world's GDP by 15%. Quote, 1932 was not, you might say, the most propitious time to begin a commercial enterprise. But if you always wait for a propitious time, you may have a long wait, end quote. That summer was a disaster for Ted and Dorothy. No air-conditioned cars driving by, no tourists in town, searing heat and hot choking dust. They had no customers. In that emptiness, Ted and Dorothy had plenty of time to think and pray for insight. And in the quiet, their answer came in the form of a question. What would tired, dusty, hot tourists want at this moment more than anything else in the world? Answer, a tall, cold, frosty glass of ice water. Free ice water at Wall Drugstore. Yes, the signs they put up along the roadside, and things started to happen. People started coming in. More signs went up each week farther and farther out of town, 15, 20 miles. The signs eventually became iconic, and people would place them around the world.
Yeah.
One at the Taj Mahal. Wall Drugstore, 10,728 miles with an arrow.
Great.
They were eventually hosting 5,000 people per day, making it the most famous of drugstores. It's still there, waiting for you to visit. 20,000 people per day visit this 76,000 square foot western town tourist attraction. How did this happen? Two people did not react emotionally to a tough problem. They did not get discouraged and give up. Instead, they thought and prayed and believed, and the idea came that solved their problem. Like attracts like. With our minds keeping a positive outlook, we are enabled to attract positive people and positive possibilities into our lives. And the key that unlocks this power is our hope. Our deep desire for a future outcome driven by our unwavering belief and conviction. We are living in a gloomy and bleak time. But remember, you didn't cause it. You can't cure it. and you can't control it. You can, however, control your mind and focus on hopeful solutions to your problems. Remember Ted, Dorothy, and the Newington Chamber of Commerce, and find those creative solutions. These are our days. I'm Coach Davis.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that one. I never knew the story behind Wall Drug. I never knew that.
Isn't that the best? Have you ever been up there to South Dakota?
Yeah, but not there. I've been to the Black Hills and some of that. But
yeah,
but you're right. The signs are everywhere.
And that's it, right? In the darkest times, they focused their attention, their prayerful attitude, and the answer came. But remember, Ray, without action, nothing happens. So our mind sets the direction, and off we go.
All right.
Here's your message of hope for today.
Well, no, that was very encouraging. Thank you. Because, some things you can't control. Control yourself. That's about it. All right. Alden, thank you very much, my friend. I guess I will talk to you next week, I guess.
Let's try to do this again.
Okay,
I
enjoy.
love doing it.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. Have a good night or day.
Yep.
Okay, bye. Time for the news.
And now, a WTIC news update.